It's the Chris Salcedo Show. Happy you've made it to hour two, folks. Our telephone number here is 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV. All of the stuff you need to do to keep up with me on social media, go to chrissalcedo.com, ChrisSalcedo.com. You'll figure out what we're up to. It's a one-stop shop for everything, folks. Look, speaking of shopping, one of my favorite companies in the whole wide world is MyPillow, and for various reasons. I want to bring on the founder, Mike Lindell. He's the founder of MyPillow. He is the founder of Lindell TV, and Mike is currently running to save the state, literally save the state of Minnesota, folks, as its next governor. Mr. Lindell, it's been far too long. Welcome back.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Every layer that is peeled back of the situation gets worse in Minnesota. How corrupt, how bad a shape is your state in?
Well, I think this is it. We're at a critical time in history. If we've got to have change now. It's the companies are leaving. I was just reading one here. We could lose one of our biggest companies, Cargill. We have the highest corporate tax in the country now, higher than California, higher than Colorado. Everyone. We have obviously the biggest fraud crimes ever in this history of the country. And we hope that I look at that as a blessing, though, because this is it's uncovering everything. If we didn't have all this happening right now, I always look at the silver lining in things. And if this wouldn't come out, obviously it's been overshadowed a lot by the protests and stuff up here in Minneapolis, but that's as that kind of fades a little bit now, the fraud's gonna come to the forefront. Our crooked governor that we had, Tim Walz, and Elon Omar, Mayor Fry of Minneapolis, Keith Ellison, our attorney general, that goes so deep, the fraud and the layers here, it's incredible. And this could open up, like our president said, across the whole country. These welfare programs, this stuff's been going on for a long time, and the Somalians kind of put it to the forefront here in Minnesota. But I want to say something. I'm running against Amy Klobuchar. Been around a long time. Amy's been around for 2 decades, and this happened under her watch. Okay, I always say, Amy and I had a lot in common. And when we say where's our commonality is she was all against the machines and the fraud with our elections in 2018, and she came out in the movie Kill Chain to get rid of all these machines in our ES&S, Dominion, Smartmatic, which I was all for, right? Obviously, and well, what did Mike do in the meantime? What did Amy do? Well, I spent 5 years and $50 million trying to get us to paper ballots and county, get rid of the fraud, and Amy sat over here on the sideline and watched billions of dollars pour into the state of Minnesota through these welfare programs. And she wasn't a very good steward of the money. She didn't follow the money to the people that actually needed it. People talk about all the money that that our taxpayers had to pay that was stolen, now headed over to countries overseas. What about the people that really might have needed that money? I think they're the forgotten ones here. So it's what's going on in Minnesota is, I've said it before, it's the tip of the spear for everything in our country. And now, but what I like about it now too is you can say, ready, ban Sharia law. This is a big thing that's come out of Minneapolis with all this going on.
Oh,
it's a very bigger problem here, everybody. And you go back, let's use that company Cargill in Minnesota here. In January of 2016, it was kind of lost in the news. Cargill fired over 250 these Muslims that worked for them, fired them because they wanted to simulate Sharia law that goes against our Constitution.
Yeah.
So they fired them. They knew that it would be racist and they would get sued. Well, they settled for $1.5 million. Well worth it back then.
Well, Mike.
But now it's okay to say it. It's okay to say, hey, we can't have this.
Even in Texas, Mike, we had 2 Sharia courts established in North Texas. Could you believe it? In the state of Texas. And thankfully, Sharia is incompatible with our Constitution. And by the way, on the machines, I remember it was Christian Adams. I had an interview with him back in the day. This was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before the machines started getting into everybody's consciousness. And he said to me, out of all of his research, and this is a DOJ lawyer, the best system that he was able to find was paper ballots and non-computerized machine tabulation. That's
Right.
the best way to make sure that the vote is on the up and up. Now, you mentioned the so-called protests. Your team, I'm sure you've done the research and you know what's going on because you're on the ground there. These individuals who are supporting criminally illegal aliens and they're targeting our ICE officials and officers. Are they homegrown in your state of Minnesota, or are these left-wing networks bringing them all in from all over the country?
It's all over the country, and it's a lot of white women. Um, you don't see my friends. Remember, I spent since I came out of crack cocaine addiction back in January 16, 2009. I was downtown Minneapolis. I spent all my time down there,
Mhm.
and from that time, I have spent millions of dollars in the private sector helping the inner city blacks and Hispanics here in Minneapolis and St. Paul, Rochester, Minnesota, Detroit, Michigan. This is where I put my efforts. And these people down there that have restarted their lives. It came the summer of 2020. Obviously, they got their businesses burned down by out-of-staters. They didn't burn down their own businesses here. They
Mhm.
didn't. They weren't the ones. They stood in their houses and actually afraid of what's going on down there. Now, here's what's going on with these protesters. Everybody, Minneapolis has some of the hardest, stringent protest laws in the nation. There's like 8 of them. Then they're layered on Minnesota's protest laws and federal laws. We've never followed them. It's like, what good is a law if you don't enforce them? About 8 years ago, with Black Lives Matter, they blocked off our police let them block off, and our mayor, Minneapolis, let them block off 35W. It's our biggest highway that goes north south through Minneapolis, and 8-lane highway. They let them block it off. We couldn't get supplies back then at My Pillow. People couldn't get to work. It doesn't make sense. If you and I stood in the middle of the highway, I'm sorry, you're hauled off to jail. And they don't enforce the protest laws. In Minneapolis, you have to have permits, all kinds of stuff. What's going on now? Now it's been. I haven't checked the temperature basically out there this week of what's going on, but what it shifted, and all these people came in from out of state, and they were stopping people on sidewalks. These are citizens downtown, sidewalks and in the street. Get you ready for this? Checking their IDs. Show me you live in this neighborhood. Show me you're not ICE. You
Wow.
can't make this stuff up, everybody. It's so
Wow.
nonsensical, and it's very sad. When I'm governor, I've got great plans to fix all this.
Well, let's talk about that. Mike Lindell, folks, running for governor of the state of Minnesota to save that state from rampant Democrat leftist corruption. How would Governor Lindell handle? And I call them insurrectionists not because I'm being pejorative. I actually asked AI to run the legal analysis, several AI, and they all pointed to the same statute. When you stop the federal government through violence or other tactics from enforcing U.S. law, you are in violation of 18 U.S.C. 2383, which is the law that prohibits rebellion or insurrection against the federal government. So these are insurrectionists. How would a governor, Mike Lindell, handle insurrectionists in Minnesota?
Here's the way it right now. It's by them backing off some, the federal government backing off some. We're kind of in an anomaly here, everybody. And by backing off some, you got to let these protests here kind of get out of the news and settle down, because we're far enough before the election. The fraud's got to come back to the forefront. That's the main thing evil is trying to cover up. When I'm governor, and I'll say, by the way, you guys, it's MikeLindellGov.com if you want to help out. We have to win this. There's no other candidate. There's no other choice. I'm all in, and we have to win this. But it's kind of about a six steps here. One is obviously you fire a lot of these commissioners day one. You get rid of they're probably all going to be prosecuted by then or in process of. You ship out the illegals that are here that have overstayed their visas. In Minnesota alone, we have you have to start cooperating with federal government. We have I don't know how, I think it's 900 and some illegals in our prisons here in Minnesota that have committed major crimes. These are felons, everybody, and they cost Minnesota taxpayers $85,000 a year. That's $110 million being spent to house these illegals. That's low hanging fruit. You bring in the government. You say the federal government say, hey, here, take these first.
Mhm.
Take them back to their countries. And by the way, they don't get released in their countries, everybody. There's agreements already in place where they put them in their own prisons. So, I mean, how common sense is that? Then you do another thing here. The first day I'm going to be that I'm governor, I'm going to ban Sharia law. You got to ban that. Downtown Minneapolis, it's disgusting what's going on down there. That you just seen it in New York where they blocked in Times Square. They closed down streets and stuff. You don't even see this in Islam countries where they're doing this. They're doing it inside mosques and stuff. They're doing it right out in the open in Minneapolis, when our governor tried to close down our Christian churches and leave the mosques open during the China virus.
I remember.
But anyway, here's another thing. You have to give local law enforcement to enforce laws like our protest laws. You got to take the streets back, okay? That's number one. You take them back, and I'm going to show you guys. And there was a gal in Portland the other day, and she was doing a video. It was kind of sarcastic, but she goes, "Here we are in Portland, the safest city now in the world." You know why? Because there's no people downtown. They're afraid, okay?
Yeah.
I went downtown Minneapolis right before Christmas, and there's a couple of things going on. You have when I grew up here all my life, and let's say Christmas shopping, or you're going shopping, people are not only in fear of going down there, but also everybody's buying stuff online. One of the things I'm going to do now, you got about 6 moving parts here, but I'm going to eliminate sales tax at the box store level, the brick and mortar level. You have to balance that with your Amazons and your MyPillow, everybody. So I'll take a hit. If you're paying sales tax up here, you have to give people incentive to go back to do physical shopping. We have the first mall in the United States here in Minnesota. We also have the biggest mall in the United States. We can't have it empty, and this is across our country. I need to save Minnesota's economy, take away these regulations. We have the highest corporate tax in the country.
Yeah.
But one of the things that's so important, how do you make the streets safe? Well, I've been working for 17 years now with these welfare programs. You take these welfare programs and that are all the frauds in, and you eliminate the fraud, okay? You take that out. Now what's left? Are these programs in the first place, are they good programs or not? You look like a businessman. Are they good programs? Do you get a good return on your investment? People getting the help they need. Are they sustainable programs? Do they have an end where they get help? Okay. Well, one of the things that I worked with Dr. Ben Carson, by the way, and I'm announced on your show, he just endorsed me for governor yesterday.
Oh, it's great.
And
Love Dr. Carson.
Yeah, but I worked with Ben, and he's a very good friend of mine. We worked very closely together in the first administration and throughout now that we become great friends. But one of the things he did, and the president did, and it was a program to clean up the streets with people, to help the people in the streets. The first place was going to be LA. It's such an amazing program. The mayor of LA and the governor of California agreed to do this. This was in December of 2019. What happened that stopped it all? Does everybody remember? The China virus, right?
China virus.
This is like a parked car. And here's what it is. You guys, this is such an amazing program. You have when you take the streets, you take these people off the streets, you put them in federal facilities. Out there, they were going to build this elaborate tent city. Colorado Springs kind of has all the help programs centralized. I visited that city, but imagine you have all these federal areas where now you put up, whether it's tent cities or building, you bring them all in and you sort them. There's three people in the streets. The first one are the people in addiction. All the people that are in addiction, that's my wheelhouse. I used to be a crack cocaine addict.
Right.
I've been in the streets. I've been everywhere, okay, in that realm. I know I've forgotten more about addiction than people would know. It's And what you need to know is what works with addicts are the faith-based treatment centers, God Center, Teen Challenge, Salvation Army, Union Gospel. These centers are built to take massive amount of people, and they work. Now, when they want to expand, like they did in Minnesota here, Teen Challenge, Minnesota said, okay, we'll subsidize you because it's working. But they said, but you got to quit talking about God. And when they did that, the programs fail. So what you do with now remember, we got 3 people we're sorting off the streets. You take the first group, the addicts. You fill your Teen Challenge, your Salvation Army, all your faith-based centers that can prove at least a 50% success rate. Okay. And with no strings attached, and you subsidize them with our tax dollar. You guys, it's the best money ever spent on that. So those part they're taken care of. Then you have the second group, which are the mental people that have mental problems.
Right.
In the early 1970s, there was a movie called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Okay, and when that movie came out, it was they were doing stuff in these mental institutions that nobody could even fathom. And Geraldo did a show after that, I believe in New York, to see if it was really going on. Sure enough, some of this stuff was going on. So what did the United States say? All the people said, give them back to their families, get them out of these institutions. They didn't go to their families, everybody. 3 million people hit our streets. That number now could be in the 20-some million people that need help out there.
Ouch.
Now, the president and I have talked about this. What did he come out with 3 weeks ago, everybody? He said, you guys might have missed it. He said, hey, we need to, as much as I don't want to, but we have to. We have to bring back the mental institution to help these people, because now we have technology and knowledge where we actually can get them the correct help. You guys, that once again will be the best money ever spent.
Okay. What about group 3? What about group 3?
Group three is the homeless, the ones that are out there making it a way of life. They just need what? Jobs. You know what you do there? You did what Rudy Giuliani did, who also works for me. He works with me and for me at Lindell TV. What he did, remember when he made New York the safest city in the world?
Yep.
And he cleaned up New York, and he gave all the people, I'll give an example, those people that stood by the beggars at the intersections in New York that would want to wipe your windshields and stuff. He made that illegal. So they would arrest these people. There was over 200 of them. You know what it did? It speeded up traffic in New York by 32%. People could actually move again. But he gave all those people real jobs to do what? To help clean up New York. So you hired all these. So I'm combining 2 systems. I've talked with the mayor, with Rudy Giuliani. I've talked with Ben Carson. I have the blueprints for both of that. Minneapolis will be the prototype of the most amazing city.
Wow.
Where you pull and you get these people help. Now remember, in Minneapolis, it freezes out. The homeless and stuff freeze out in the winter. So they're going someplace, but they're not getting the help they need. You follow me?
Understood. Understood. Look, Mr. Lindell, I've only got about 2 minutes left, and I still got to hit a couple of things. I just want to talk a little business, if we can.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
First off, let's talk about My Pillow. I am an affiliate, a proud affiliate with My Pillow, and I tell the folks I'm astonished that what you're able to do, what you're able to offer those of us with promo codes, which how you're able to cut over 50% of the costs to get your fine products, and they are fine products, into homes across America. Tell us how that whole campaign is going.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, My Pillow was the most attacked company in the history of companies.
Yep.
We've made it through. We're still standing. All the box stores canceled us, the shopping channels. We were their #1 products in history. So we don't have a middleman anymore. Remember, the box stores and stuff take over 50%. We're passing it on to all of you. And right now, that's how we're able to do it. We want to stay in business. It's an employee-owned company. You guys have all helped us, so we're passing. Every product we look at is something that'll help you. Right now, we're doing our Mega 2 sale, 2nd annual Mega sale, which our 4 flagship products are on. You have the My Pillow, as low as $14.98, even lower than what I just seen come up on your sheet. And that's promo code Team Liberty, everybody. Promo code Team Liberty. $14.98. You have our 6-piece towel sets, $34.98. I mean, these are products that actually work. Then you got our flagship Giza Dreams. These sheets are it's our president's favorite product, by the way. These are the best sheets in history. The best sheets in history. These are as low as $29.98, and then you have our mattress toppers that are as low as $99.98, which will change any bed into the best bed in history. And if you use Team Liberty, I'm going to even add to it today, you guys. I'm going to throw in free shipping on your entire order if you use that promo code today.
Dang.
Free shipping, that's on us. Those big ticket items, we make our own beds here in the USA, the best mattresses ever, the best mattress toppers ever. They're built to give you great Delta sleep besides your REM sleep, those sleep cycles. And then I'm going to give a number, 800-819-4823. 800-819-4823. You're going to have someone answer that speaks English. My employees have been with me forever. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be fantastic. Last thing I want to talk to you about is Lindell TV, because your people, you mentioned Rudy as part of Lindell TV, but all the rest of the folks who are affiliated with Lindell TV are making waves where the rest of the compliant left-wing anti-American press is not challenging speaking truth to power. What is the philosophy behind Lindell TV? What do you tell the folks?
Lindell TV, when I started that, everybody, was the spring of 2021. When we were getting canceled, remember on January 7th and 8th, 1.2 million Americans lost all of they were canceled on Vimeo, YouTube, everywhere. If you spoke out about the virus, if you spoke out about the vaccine, Jesus Christ, or the election, you were canceled. So I was in the spring of 2021 when I'm holding up my hand, getting attacked in the media by everything and canceled because I kept saying we got to go to paper ballots and counted and talking about the stolen election. The media went silent on me at one point. They knew that I was using them as they attacked me. I'm going, I didn't care if I got attacked. I needed to get the word out. So when they went silent, that gave me, it really worried me. It doesn't matter how much evidence or what you have if you don't have a platform to put it out there. That's where Lindell TV was born. Originally it was called Frank Speech, but now it's gotten so big, everybody. I believe we're one of the only outlets that have correspondence in the White House and in the Capitol and in the Pentagon. Every afternoon, every day. You've probably seen clips where Pelosi goes, "You shut up." That's our reporter. I mean, these things that have been viral.
Yes.
I mean, Allison and Kara and Heather, I mean, they're just amazing. We have Rudy Giuliani at night. I have a show. I'm not on there much because I'm running for governor, but we have Mayor Rudy Giuliani, Emerald Robinson, Eric Metaxa. This lineup is, you need to hear what's really going on. And you can say, well, what about Fox News or Newsmax? You guys want to know about one of the biggest problems we have, the biggest things we face is securing our election. You're not going to hear about this on Fox News and Newsmax. They went silent on that issue because of lawfare. You need to watch Lindell TV to know what's going on. And it's very important. This SAVE Act is probably one of the most important things to our country right now ever. The SAVE Act has to get passed. You've got to encourage anybody you know, your own senators, say, hey, get this to the forefront, get this out there. This has to pass. This midterm election is the most critical election in history. Everything we've done so far that our president's done, and the gains we've made, could all end up being in vain. We all have to do our part, and that's Lindell TV. And it's publicly traded. By the way, it's publicly traded, everybody. MLMC under Mike Lindell Media Corp, publicly traded.
Mike Lindell, folks, if they want to donate to your campaign, find out what your campaign's all about, give that web address one more time.
Yeah, it's MikeLindellGov.com. We do need help there. I'm all in. We're putting out the biggest campaign to win Minnesota in history. It's MikeLindellGov.com.
Sir, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mike Lindell, everybody. Sir, we'll talk to you again very soon. Thank you kindly. Telephone number is 281-558-5738, 281-558-KSEV. Man, it has been far too long since I talked with him. You always get the full picture, folks, from Mike Lindell. He can, I believe, save Minnesota.